Hello, in this video we will show you how to complete the annual return spreadsheet, taking you step by step through the different tabs. Feel free to follow along or skip ahead using the timestamps shown in the description of this video. Once you have opened the annual return spreadsheet, you will find 4 tabs at the bottom: Cover Letter, Layout Specification, Data, and a Payment Reconciliation tab. We will now explain what each tab means as well as the information it includes, all the information that you will need to enter. Please complete the spreadsheet to the best of your knowledge. While completing the spreadsheet, if you're unable to complete a specific field, you can refer to the Layout Specification tab at the bottom of the spreadsheet. Simply select this tab and you will be shown how the field should be completed, as well as an example of the information needed. We'll go into more detail about the Layout Specification tab later in the video. Let's start with the cover letter page. This letter explains the importance of the annual return spreadsheet. Please read the cover letter carefully, as it explains more about the spreadsheet in detail and what is required by you as an employer/payroll provider. The data gathered allows us to check and update the pension scheme's record in respect of both current LGPS members and former members who left the scheme during the financial year. It also helps us to identify any missing membership changes. Most importantly, it helps us to issue an accurate annual benefit statement to your scheme members. You'll need to provide data for all scheme members who contributed to LGPS at any stage during the period 1st of April 2020 to the 31st of March 2021. We have also requested that you provide an email address for each of your members. We use the member's email address to advise them when their annual benefit statement has been produced and is available to view on the My Pension portal. The cover letter also explains the importance of providing us with a unique payroll reference, found in the column H of the Data tab. If the member has more than one role, this unique reference helps us to identify which data refers to each of the job roles. Please ensure that the payroll references remain unchanged for every year that the member remains active in each role. If a member has taken flexible retirement partway through the year, they will have one entry, with a leaving date of when they took their retirement, and this entry will have their unique payroll reference. The member would also have a new entry for the same job with a start date from the day after their flexible retirement, provided that they haven't opted out of the scheme. Once completed, if the annual return spreadsheet shows any red error messages displayed in column A on the Data tab, the spreadsheet will be sent back to you for correction. Please make sure that you clear all red error messages before the file is submitted to us. More information on the warning and error messages can be found on the Layout Specification tab page. The Layout Specification tab. This tab provides detailed information about the format that you must return the spreadsheet in. Please familiarise yourself with the format that is expected as, if completed incorrectly, an error message will be produced and we will return the spreadsheet back to you for correction. In this tab, shown in column C, you will also find what information is mandatory, recommended or optional as you scroll down the page. We have also provided an example of how the data should look, and the information can be found on column D in the spreadsheet. For example, the national insurance number should consist of 9 characters. Under column E, you will find the notes we have provided. This column goes into greater detail regarding the data we expect from you. The Layout Specification tab is split into colour-coded sections. The green section, lines 5 and 6, explain the details we require from you as the employer. The blue section, lines 7 to 15, explain the member data that we require. The pink section, lines 16 to 24, explain the information we require regarding the contributions. The lilac section, lines 25, explains final pay and how this is calculated. The pale green section, lines 26 to 35, explains the care information that we require. The following lines, lines 48 to 54, show the red error messages that you might receive and their explanation. Remember, you will have to clear all red error messages before submitting your spreadsheet. Lines 55 to 57 show the blue warning messages that you might receive. You can still submit the spreadsheet if you have a blue warning message, but we may ask you to clarify the data entries concerned. Lines 60 to 63 explain the fields in the Payment Reconciliation tab. The Data tab. This is where you'll need to enter the member and employment information. Please select your fund in column A1 from the drop-down box. Then, select the employer name from the drop-down box in column B1 to E1. If your name does not appear in the box, then please type your employer name into the field instead. Finally, please enter your employer contribution rate in column K, in number format only. We will now run through the different fields for the member data. The column headings and format are shown in lines 2 and 3. When additional information is available for a field, you will notice a red triangle in the top right-hand side. If you hover your cursor over this triangle, a box will appear with more information to assist you. We have provided an example of what the data should look like, and this is shown in line 4. The member data fields are as follows. Column A. This column will show you any warning or error messages as you enter the data. Remember that you can find an explanation of these messages on the Layout Specifications tab. Column B. The national insurance number of the member. This will consist of 2 letters, 6 numbers, and ends with 1 letter. Column C. The title of the member. For example, Mr., Miss, or Mrs. Column D. Surname of the member. Column E. The first forename of the member. Column F. The member's date of birth. Column G. The member's sex. Please enter either M or F or leave the column blank. In column H, please enter a unique payroll reference for the member for that employment. This helps to identify the job role if the member has more than one role. Only enter data in column I if you had any members who have joined the scheme within the 2020-21 tax year. If the member was in the scheme before the 31st of March 2020, please leave this blank. Only enter data in column J if the member has left the LGPS within the scheme year. Please let us know the reason for their leaving in the remarks column, column AM. In column K, please enter the percentage contribution rate for the member as at the end of the financial year. This should be a numerical entry only. Column L. If the member contributed to the main scheme at any time during the financial year, you'll need to notify us of the total of their contributions paid during this period. Please include the basic contributions collected, including any arrears, all basic contributions for maternity/paternity leave, and all the basic contributions collected on sick pay. Do not include any contributions here if the member has been in the 50/50 section of the scheme. Please refer to the Layout Specification tab for more details. Column M. If the member contributed to the 50/50 scheme at any time during the financial year, you will need to notify us of the total of their contributions paid during this period. Please include the basic contributions collected, including any arrears, all basic contributions for maternity/paternity leave, and any basic contributions collected on sick pay. Do not include any contributions here if the member has been in the main section of the scheme. If the member is currently contributing towards the purchase of any added years, please enter this information in column N. Do not insert any contribution towards ARCs, APCs, and AVCs in the column N. If the member is currently contributing towards the purchase of additional regular contributions, ARCs, please enter this in column O. If the member is currently contributing towards the purchase of any additional pension contributions, APCs, please enter this in column P. If the member is currently contributing towards the purchase of any member additional voluntary contributions, AVCs, please enter this in column Q. Do not insert any contributions the employer is paying towards the member's AVCs. If the employer is contributing towards the purchase of AVCs for a shared cost AVC, for example, please enter this in column R. If the employer is contributing towards the purchasing of APC contributions, for unpaid maternity leave for example, please enter this in column S. Do not insert any contribution the member is paying towards their APCs, AVCs or ARCs. Column T. The whole time equivalent pay under 2008 regulations. This must be calculated from the pay rates over the year and be annualised for members starting partway through the financial year. You can find further information regarding how to calculate final pay on the LGPS website under Employer Resources. Please note, if the member has been furloughed during the financial year and you have not made their pay up to 100%, the whole time equivalent pensionable pay will be calculated on their reduced FTE furlough pay. Please ensure that you advise us that the member is subject to furlough by adding this to the remarks field in column AM. The next columns, U to AD, relate to the care pay. Column U. The care total pensionable pay is the sum of the actual pensionable pay paid to the member and any assumed pensionable pay, APP, for any periods of reduced pay. If the member has been furloughed during the financial year and you have not made their pay up to 100%, the care total pensionable pay will be calculated on their reduced furlough pay received. Assumed pensionable pay, APP, does not apply to furlough staff. Column V. Care Period 1 Start. This should be completed with the 1st of the 4th, 2020, or, if the member started their role later within the 2020-21 financial year, their date of joining. Column W. Care Period 1 Section. The section of the scheme the member was paying into during this time. This will be either main or 50-50. Column X. Care Period 1 Pay. The total amount of pay received during this period. If the member has remained in the same section of the scheme throughout this financial year, you do not have to complete the Care Pay 2 or Care Pay 3 columns. If this is the case, the figure entered in column X will be the same as the care total pensionable pay in column U. If the member has moved from the main scheme to the 50-50 scheme, or from the 50-50 scheme to the main scheme through the financial year, then you will need to complete the Care Period 2 columns, which are columns Y to AA. Column Y. Care Period 2 Start. Enter the date the member started the new section of the scheme. Column Z. Care Period 2 Section. Enter the section of the scheme that the member has moved to, either main or 50-50. Column AA. Care Period 2 Pay. Enter the pay received by the member in the section of the scheme. If the member then moves between the sections of the scheme again within the financial period, please complete columns AB to AD. The 3 care periods added together must equal the care total pensionable pay in column U. Column AE. Here, you will need to provide the member's job title. This helps us to keep our records updated, especially if the member has changed job roles throughout the year. We also require you to provide us with the email address for the member. Please enter this in column AF. We would prefer a personal email address, as this will make it easier for us to contact the member, but this can also be a work email address. We use the member's email address to notify them when their annual benefit statement is available to view on the My Pension portal. If you cannot provide an email address, we can accept a blank entry, so please do not put NA, unknown, or any other text that isn't an email address in this column. Next, you will need to provide us with the address of the member. To ensure that our records are kept up to date, please provide us with the member's full address including postcode in columns AG to AL. If you have any additional information you would like to provide, please enter this into the remarks cell, column AM. The Payment Reconciliation tab. This is where you input your employer and member total contributions. The monthly figures that you enter are compared to the individual member's data that you have entered in the Data tab. Before you complete this tab, please make sure you have completed the Data tab, not forgetting to complete cell K1, which is your contribution rate. In column D, enter the monthly employer contributions that you have paid to the pension fund. In column E, enter the monthly member contributions that you have paid to the pension fund. In column F, enter the monthly contributions that you have paid to the pension fund in respect of any additional contracts that members have paid throughout the year. Column G will total these monthly figures, and the total contributions will be shown in line 45, 46 and 47. Lines 48 to 53 total up the contributions that you have entered for each member on the Data tab. Line 54 will compare the total amount from your member monthly payments to the pension fund and compare that figure with the total member contributions you have completed on the Data tab. And, if these figures do not match, the difference will be shown here. Once compared, the figures should match and the difference in field G54 should be 0. If it doesn't match and you have checked your entries and cannot identify any problems, we will accept your spreadsheet, but might need to contact you to clarify any entries. Lines 57 to 59 compare the employer contribution data that you have entered in the employer monthly payments to the pension fund with the employer contributions that you have entered in the Data tab. Once compared, the figures should match and the difference in field G59 should be 0. As before, if it doesn't match and you cannot identify any problems, we will accept your spreadsheet, but might need to contact you to clarify any entries. Please use the Notes section to add any comments that you wish to make. Please remember, if you copy and paste any information into the spreadsheet, the copied format may not adhere to the format that is acceptable on the spreadsheet, and you'll receive an error message. Always refer to the cover letter and layout specification tabs, as most frequently asked questions can be found there. Once we've received your annual return spreadsheet, if we have any queries, we may need to contact you. The members' annual benefit statements will be produced using the data you have provided. Members can use the My Pension portal to access their annual benefit statement. Unless requested by the member, we no longer send paper copies of annual benefit statements. Please note that in order for members to access their annual benefit statements, they will need to register and log on to the My Pension portal. Further details regarding the portal can be found on the Fund website. If you are unable to complete a specific section, please contact us by emailing tim.hillman@eastsussex.gov.uk or calling us on 07935 014575.